Hello, hello, hello to everyone that's listening in replay. I'm right, I'm right. Start in just a few moments. Volume still up. We're trying to work some things out. Okay. But we have a little echo here. We'll take care of that before the show starts. But if you're listening to replay, you can fast forward right to the beginning of the show. It seems like all of the electronics are moving slowly today. Slowly. So we're going to take care of a couple of things that we need to take care of. And then we're going to get into the show. So that's what we're going to do. So the show will start in just a few moments, but if you're new to Fireside, there's a couple of things you can do. You can hit any of the emojis across the bottom, so that is the clap sound, the laugh sound, and the party sound. That's what it is, yeah, the party sound. Also, you can leave a comment or a question anytime you wish during the show by hitting the 4 emojis that are in the lower right-hand corner, and then you can choose an emoji and just press send, and we'll just get that emoji. Or you can choose an emoji and write a comment or a question, and then we will hear it and we will bring it up during the show and talk about it or answer your question. You can also request to come to the stage that way. You can also ask a question by the little question circle down in the lower towards the left-hand corner. And you can ask a question or comment that way also. And you can also request to be on stage by the thing that looks like a mic on a mic stand down on the bottom in the middle. And you can request to speak. And we would love for you to speak. But the show will be starting in just about a minute. So we will be right with you.
You're like a little bobblehead. Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I am Anthony Cordova.
We're back.
I am, and we are back. We're still here. How many years have we been doing this, Jill?
Forever.
Not quite forever. But between our podcasts that we launched first and here on Fireside.
We've been on Fireside for a little more than a year. And we've been doing I'm Right for about 5 years.
Something like that. Obviously, we like it.
Sometimes.
And, what do you mean sometimes?
Sometimes I like it.
Oh, I love it. I love it all the time. I love it all the time.
Which is probably why you have 2 other shows besides this one.
And I see Dave and Sam. The Sam is Sam.
Oh, you can see now. Yeah. Okay.
I can see a little bit. But if their emoji is there, I kind of know what their little emoji is. So I might not be able to see the letters.
The names, but you can tell from their
from their emoji.
Little, okay.
So that helps.
And there's Faraz in the audience too.
Faraz, where's Faraz? I don't see Faraz
on the end.
There you are, Faraz. Hey, what's up? Happy you're here. I really am. I really am. I'm not just saying that. I'm happy that you're here, Faraz. I think Faraz has been in our show before.
I think so.
Yeah, it's been a little while though. So it's good to see you. Happy you're back.
It feels like forever since we were last here.
No, that was just last week.
That was just last week? We were here last week?
Last week. That was just last week. Yes. So, Jill, do we want to get into the topic of the show this evening?
Yes. Our topic tonight is about when you have career ideas or ideas for what you want to do with your time for money, But there are people out there who want to tell you what you should be doing. So I want to talk about, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Well, are other people trying to tell you what you should do within your career, or
No,
should are
sometimes
they?
people tell you, no, you should be in such and such career when you have
Hmm.
absolutely no no idea, no interest at all. So for
Hmm.
example, so this is my stance.
That you have no interest, or maybe you don't have an interest in it anymore.
Or ever. My stance is that people should, like, it's nice when when you're growing up and people notice what you're good at. It's
Yes.
nice when people point out what you're good at.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
my stance is that people need to stay in their lane when it comes to your career.
But what if they have some good advice?
Advice is one thing, but telling you, no, you should be doing such and such, or like for example, I have several examples of things I didn't like that people did. So first of
That
all,
people did,
people did.
or
People did.
suggested to you.
Well, some of them
People
like
did.
really like were trying to force me to do it. So for example, um I'll start with something that maybe everyone could relate to, which was when you have a guidance counselor in school. Guidance counselors, by the way, have more power than I think we give them credit for, because they can make or break a kid's confidence,
Yes.
you know. So I know of many stories of students going into a guidance counselor and expressing where they would like to go to college, for example.
Hmm.
And the guidance counselor, oh, you'll never get in, or things
Never
like
get
that.
in.
That was not the situation with me, because for most of my, time that I got grades, I
Hmm.
got straight A's. So
Yeah.
my guidance counselor kept telling me, you should be a doctor. I'm like, but I don't like science. But you get A's in science because I'm a straight A student. Like, I know how to study.
Yeah.
I know how to pass tests,
Correct.
but I had no interest in science
Okay.
whatsoever.
All right.
So she wanted me to be a doctor. My first stepfather wanted me to be a doctor, and they were really insistent to the point where I would just have to walk away from people. It's like,
Okay.
haven't you all been listening to me since I was 9? I wanted to do something in writing.
Hmm.
And I had decided that being a journalist was a way to do that. Although silly me, the more I progressed in journalism, the less writing I did.
Right.
Um, so then fast forward to careers when I'm actually am doing the career I want to do.
Yes.
And I can walk in, and twice this happened to me. I walk into a room with the day before I had one job. I walk into a room the next day and I have direct reports.
Hmm.
I never wanted to manage people.
Okay. I
But
understand
they
that.
thought I was a leader, which I do have leadership qualities. I'm
Yes, you
glad that
do.
they could see that in me. But that is not how I wanted to um, showcase my leadership qualities.
Correct.
Um, so, that proved to be really stressful, but I didn't have a choice. Like when I still worked for the same people, they didn't ask me what I wanted to do. They just, one day my whole job changed,
Okay.
or twice that happened.
All right.
And I thought, you should ask me what I would like to do. And so that's how, even though I decided to leave the job, that's how I was able to still get them to pay me severance, because I explained to them, you gave me a job I never asked for.
Hmm.
And somehow or another that worked. They gave me severance even though I quit.
Well, that's good.
They paid me to quit. I like that.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. So, I don't know. In my case, most of my adult life, I worked for myself uh, in several businesses, but the main business was in trucking.
Right?
Whether I was driving one that I owned or whether I owned several, that was my main thing.
Right?
But after I had done that for about 7 years, I just wanted out.
Of the whole industry? Like, no
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah, I just wanted out.
You said 7 years?
Yeah, 7
And
years.
that
It was like the
you
7
stayed,
years.
like, 30 or 40?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, yes, that is correct. Um, that's a whole 'nother story.
It
But
is.
I did other businesses during that time also, so it wasn't but, and that's fine if you love it. But at that point, I did not love it anymore. But, um, if I were to tell somebody that, "Hey, I'm tired of trucking. I'm tired of being gone all the time, and I want to try to live a regular life. Go to work, come home. Go to work, come home, or use your do your business, but you come home every day." People would tell me, "You need to start a trucking school." I don't want to start a trucking school. If anyone has hung around truckers before, you'll find out you don't want to hang around truckers all the time, and you especially don't want to be around tr- wannabe truckers. They're even worse. They're even worse. So, and I had
What are
extensive.
wannabe truckers? People who don't understand how to do it yet?
Yes, people that want to
Okay.
be truckers. They want to be truckers.
As opposed to what, though? Like,
They're not a trucker. They
but
have to
even
get their
but
they
even the truckers out there, sometimes they don't know what they're doing. So they're truckers, but they don't know how to be a good trucker.
well, that's a trucker today.
But
That's what that is today. But anyway, people would say, "Oh yeah, 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 you'd open up a trucking, a trucking school." I had no desire, no, no desire. Could I have done it? Probably, but I really did not want to do that. I don't like the environment. It's really a rough business, and I didn't want to be a part of it. So, people would tell me, and I even told myself. Well, no, people would tell me start flipping houses. You know everything about houses. I used to be an architectural draftsman. I can fix and repair just about anything. I'm a pretty decent carpenter. So flip houses, flip houses, flip houses. And I almost did that. Almost. Um, I realized I don't really want to do that. That's also a rough business. It's a rough business.
So
It's a
in
lot
the
of work.
cases of trucking and flipping houses, the suggestions that you were given, do you feel that the people who were suggesting it were just taking into account what you're good
What
at
I'm good at.
and but they had your best interests at heart?
Yeah, I believe they did, but yes, they definitely had my best interests at heart. They looked at my skills, my business skills, my hands-on skills, and said, "Yeah, that would be good for you, and you'd make a lot of money." Um, and true, probably could, but you don't always, just because you can do something does not necessarily mean you should.
That's absolutely right. And I always tell people, remember your why. In my case, people that wanted me to be a doctor, it was because they wanted me to make a lot of money.
Hmm.
But I've never been motivated in my career to do something for money.
Yeah,
That's never been a top priority for me,
right.
which is probably why I became a journalist. I remember one time it was like maybe a year that I had been in the business,
Hmm.
and one of my cousins came to visit me, and she's a couple years older than me, and she was a physical therapist. And so
Correct.
she started looking around she stayed with me at my apartment, started looking around my apartment. She's like, "You don't make much money, do you?" And compared to her, like, she made me almost double what I made, probably more. And, but the thing about journalism or TV
Uh,
journalism is that I was able to triple, quadruple my salary very
yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
Well, relatively
Hmm.
quickly. It took me, a couple of years, 2 to 3 years before I
Right,
started seeing real money. But,
right.
but the people who wanted me to be a doctor, it was purely because they wanted me to make a lot
Make
of
money.
money.
And people want to make money. I mean, making money is good. I mean,
Well, no, I
and it
mean
makes life
I mean
easier.
that's one of the reasons we work, right?
Hmm.
Is to have income. But the people who just suddenly made me manager of people, other people, I
Hmm.
think they just wanted to get the people who reported to me off their hands. And like, there's
Probably.
Jill.
Probably.
Jill'll do it. But I'm not Mike. I've never been Mikey either.
Hmm.
Like the commercial, like, hey, Mikey. Mikey likes everything. Jill doesn't like everything.
Hmm.
So that was not a good role for me.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
so once I realized their why, then I made it uncomfortable for them. Like, I was always reminding them of why I disliked it.
Uh, okay.
It didn't mean they took it away. But I wanted them
that
to be
that's
uncomfortable for
the yeah.
their decision.
Okay. Well, well, that's cool. But
It
I didn't know.
is.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. You did something. What? You know what? You did not have to take the position. You could have quit.
I could have,
Yeah, you could have
but
quit.
it was an income. And at that time I was not I still liked the industry itself.
Yeah.
So I could have looked elsewhere, sure.
I see Stacy came
Hey,
into the Hi,
Stacy!
Stacy again. I saw you earlier. Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! um, but yeah, I could have looked for another job. But looking for another job can be a full-time job too.
That's true.
So, that was when I was on call for everything, it seemed. And so I didn't really have time to look for another job.
So, Jill, have you ever had the time when a person said you should do such and such, whatever job, and you didn't want to, but you did it, and it turned out to be the right job? Well, you know what? It just made me
No?
think. It just made me think of something. Now, listen to this, you all. And some of you know this story already. Hey, it is really Charlie. Hi, really
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie. Haven't seen you in a little bit, I think. Yeah, because I missed your last show that you did. Wind down. Um, so that was on me.
That's what I need tonight. Some wine.
That was
Knew
on
I was
me.
missing something.
But I remember years ago, we were together.
You and I.
Yes, years ago, and um, I was there watching you interview celebrities, and I said to you,
Oh, I know where this is going.
I
First,
said,
you said, I will never work with you. That's the first thing you
but this
said.
is not that part of the story. And I wasn't saying this so I would work with you, but I said, Jill, you need to have your own show where you interview people. That's what I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
I
I don't
didn't.
want to do
There was
that.
a reason I was a producer.
Yes, I don't want to do that. I said, but you don't understand. You're really good at it. You're really good at it. That's why you made Shaka Khan cry.
I
You
didn't
made
make her
other
cry on
you
purpose.
made other people. You made was she a 3 or 4 star general?
4 star.
4 star general. A female 4 star general, and they have to be extra tough because they're female in a man's world.
Again,
And Jill made her cry.
I didn't make her cry on purpose. I didn't realize when I asked her. Well, the question was very simple. Who inspired you to go in the military? I didn't
Uh,
know it was her father, and I didn't know he had just passed. So
yeah,
just the memory of him made
but
her
it's
cry,
it's
not
it's
me.
it's the way you say it. It's the way you ask the questions. It just gets to people. So I told Angel, and I told you, yeah, you need to have your own show, your own show, your own show. Nope, 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 you're crazy. Nope, 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 you're crazy. Nope, 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 you're crazy. And then fast forward several years, she tells me, "Oh, Tony, I want to have my own show."
But there was a reason. It wasn't because I decided I wanted to be on this, on Fireside. That was not the reason. And we were already
It
doing
wasn't.
this. You
It
had
wasn't.
already forced me to do this show.
No, but it was your idea. It was your first. Your first. We wouldn't even be doing this if you didn't say you wanted to do a podcast where you interviewed authors.
Podcast is very different than what we're doing now and what you were telling me to do,
It's
because you
ask.
told me I needed to be on camera. I'm
Yeah,
fine
but
with
we would have.
audio.
We would have got to that. I wasn't worried, but just you changed your outlook on that, and now look at you.
Well, I do like to interview people, but I hardly ever interview people now.
Yeah, when we have more time, you probably will. Probably will. So, I think that's a case where, I saw that in you and I thought you did it really well. I suggested it and you kicked back
I sure did.
and
I kicked back on doing this show.
I know, but you're doing it.
I know, because I love you.
Is that the only reason?
That's
You
the
don't
main
like
reason.
connecting with our audience, with all the great people we've met? You
Sure.
don't like that?
Sure, but I just feel like, hey, we should just all hang out. Like, why do a show? Just hang out and talk.
Listen, Jill says, just hang out and talk. And, I'm cool with just hanging out and talk. But she'll say, we need segments. We have to have segments. She starts producing. This
'Cause-
show had segments when it was a podcast.
We sure, yes,
It
we
had
did.
a lot of segments. Matter of fact,
The show I do by myself has segments.
Yeah, and my other shows have segments. But this show, the segments went away. And it's true because I still have them.
Stand by
That
your
was a
stance.
segment. We had a segment. We stand by our stance.
And I often say
would
to
stand
you,
by mine.
hey,
She
we
would
need
say-
to bring our segments back because it's a show.
Yes,
So if you put me
yes.
in a show,
Yeah.
then I'm going to go in producer mode
Yeah.
because that's what I know.
And then in this very same show, our next segment was.
So,
What do you think?
What do you think? Because I'm right.
Because I'm right. Which we don't do anymore either.
But that's on you.
That's not on me.
It is.
We don't do that. You don't do that either.
I keep asking you to bring them back.
And then we had another segment where, well, they're self-explanatory. So this other segment was.
I'm trying to help you.
So there we would give advice. It was advice we gave, and that was getting close to the end of the show. I'm trying to help you. Trying to give you some information. Trying to help you. So that's what we would do, and it worked. And then when we started this show, Jill said we needed more segments. More segments. So we brought in this segment, and it didn't take either.
Relationship.
Rant. And that's where we gave the audience a chance to just rant about other relationships they've been in. And that didn't take either. And then it ended up being a segment where I talked about all of the bad relationships I was in. So that wasn't working either. So we don't have any segments in here anymore.
We could bring them back anytime, which is why every now and then, at least once a month, I ask you, can we bring the segments back?
I say yes.
And then we don't do them.
All you have to do is announce the segment, and we will bring the segment back.
Okay.
No,
I'll remember that for next time.
No problem. We can do it. We can do
Okay.
it.
So you brought all of that into play because
I forgot.
you just want to play your sound
No,
effects.
it was because you said you just wanted a show where we just talk and interact with our audience.
No,
And,
you
that's
missed
what
the
you
key
said.
point. No, you
No.
missed the key point of that statement. I
What was
said,
it?
why have a show? Why can't we just hang out and talk?
But that's what we do. That's
No, I
exactly
mean,
what we do. We
why
doing that
do
now.
all of this when we can just
What's
call each other up,
what's
Zoom
all of
something?
what's all of this? What
this
all
is a
of this?
show. We're in front of people. We have an audience.
according to you, with no segments and stuff,
Oh
it's
no, it's
not.
not really a show. It's not. It's not a highly produced show anymore.
It's not a highly produced show. Yes, we just let it go where it wants to go. I especially love it when we do, like, we hardly have any. Whoop, look, I'm hitting the mic. We hardly have anybody in the audience tonight, and that's cool. That's cool. Everybody's
We have cool
numbers.
people though.
Yeah, we do have cool people, but I really enjoy it when many of the people have something to say. I really do want to hear their opinion, what they have to say. Like, really, Charlie, who knows what he's going to say? You never know. Or the comment that he's going to type. You never know. Like, some shows, he said some things that he probably wish, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have said that because she after me now. She's. But we all get a good laugh. Charlie finds girlfriends that he's not supposed to have, so it's all funny. Yeah, yeah. It's funny. It makes me laugh. But I do want to ask a question to Charlie, and I do want to ask a question. He just posted a lot of pictures, and they were out at some event, and Charlie had a suit on, and think he had a red shirt and a tie, and looking all good and everything. And his wife was there, looking all good too. Um,
It did
Other
look like a night
friends.
out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Where were they all at? I thought, man, maybe they're in Vegas. Maybe they're but I didn't see any Vegas stuff there. So where were they? Where in the world was really Charlie?
He's coming on the stage, and there he is. Hi, Charlie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
That was the Buy Black NB, which stands for Buy Black New Bedford, Massachusetts. And we had a gala. The group
Oh,
that was,
gala.
Gala.
yeah. So it was,
That's where the
I,
rich people go. Rich
yeah, it
people
was real
say,
rich.
Fancy.
Yeah,
I went to
yeah.
the gala. Some
I,
some people say, like, isn't it? Some people say gala, and some people
mhm,
say
Gala.
gala.
Gala. Yeah.
Oh, gala. Yeah, some
Gala.
people
Yeah, some
do.
people
I
say
say
gala.
gala. But go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead, Charlie.
I only know it as an event. I got to dress up, you know. But it was
Right.
it was their first fundraiser. And the radio station WNB1 Radio that I'm affiliated with,
Ooh. Yes.
we were a sponsor.
Oh, cool.
And so, but it was real nice. It was right on the harbor, from our number one seaport in the country, in the world, really.
All
So we
right.
were just hanging out, and it was nice to see the nightlights, see all the fabulous people in there dressed up for a black event that had all races in there. Everybody. It was nice, you know. It
Oh,
was
it's cool.
an American event
And
for
what did the
black
money go
businesses.
toward?
It goes back to the black businesses. They whether it's through the how do you want to say it? The events that they have the venues or the businesses set up, like an outdoor event or indoor event, and it pays for those fees that we may have, because it's usually quite a bit of vendors out there. So and there's a few other things. I don't want to misquote it, so I'm not going to say anything other than goes to a good cause, good worthy cause. No one's buying a 105-foot yacht or anything like that. They're definitely doing great things. And
that is cool.
That's
I
wonderful.
don't think we have anything like that in Atlanta.
they should, because I mean, if New Bedford is has a membership of 200 businesses, black-owned businesses. I can't even imagine what the city of Atlanta has. So, um,
But
That's why I think
but the
they
way I
do.
don't think
But
they do it where they take the money and put it back into the local businesses
no,
so
that
they can do these events. That's what I'm talking
right,
about.
right.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
It's
I
like the
do think that they
businesses they'll have a
have a
thing
like a
for,
lab and things like that. But I don't. I think you're right. I don't think
yeah,
that's how they utilize the money.
yeah. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Cool.
Hopefully, I'll have them on my podcast soon. Fireside is getting me upset because I can't see the video when I'm doing my podcast anymore, So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
people are seeing me, and
Yeah,
then
Jill is still having that problem with her phone, but
Yep.
I don't have it with my phone. It works fine.
Well, we
and
have
you
two
have
different
an
phones,
iPhone
so maybe
also.
you're.
Yeah, I have an iPhone
But his is
a
a
13.
later model than mine.
Yeah, I have a 13 and I don't have that problem. I haven't had it once, not even once.
But
Jill, if he
I
was,
have it every time.
yeah, I do every single time. I tried everything.
Which phone do you have?
I go to my favorite teacher, YouTube, and it's not teaching
Uh-huh.
me anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent emails to Fireside. I haven't received a response to the first one. The second one was pretty much what everyone else is telling me. And I go to the settings, I press the focus, I put on do not disturb, I do all those things. And
Mm-hmm.
it's annoying because, as when I'm on the radio station, I try to
Yeah, you
keep the
don't even
phone.
look at the phone. Yeah,
I can't.
right.
It's very difficult. So, anyways, it's annoying, and I like to bring my all my podcasts to Fireside because of what it's actually done for me,
Right.
and I just think that audience would would appreciate the radio station, the music, all that, and everything that
Right.
we have to offer. So
Right. So which iPhone do you have?
I believe it's 12 or
A
11. I'm
12?
not sure.
Yeah, so Jill has a 12 also. So
So maybe it's that
it
model.
it may be a glitch with Fireside in the older phones that like we have older iPads too. Now we
Yeah.
can use the iPad just as like a producer phone and we're
Hmm.
not doing video with it and all of that and it'll work okay. But if we
Yes.
try to use the older iPad to shoot video, it barely works.
Wow.
The colors go in and out, it gets glitchy and all of that. So I think maybe it's a glitch that affects
Yeah.
the older iPhones.
I'm gonna
Um,
try. I'm gonna try a new, uh, my new SIM card, and from what I gather, a friend said that might help me out. But I don't know. It's still doing the on and off thing, so I think that's within the phone and not the service.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I
So
agree.
yeah.
yeah. So
But the
I
but the good thing is now, and I don't know which carrier you're with. We have AT&T
uh,
and
T-Mobile. I have.
T-Mobile. Well, they have things where they're always sending me upgrade your phone for free.
Oh, well,
Mhm.
why haven't we done that with mine?
Because it extends your contract.
Oh,
So I try to
Oh.
delay it as long as possible
I see.
because as soon as we upgrade our phone, then they come out with another one. And
Hmm.
then, if you upgrade your phone again, then
Right,
you're extending your contract even more.
right. But it's
Um,
affecting my show.
yeah.
And I think Jill is right.
Uh,
I think
but
Jill is right.
but you know what? I haven't taken a look at Jill's phone yet, so I'll take a look and see whether I can get it to stop.
Okay.
doing that, and then
And if you do, then you should tell Charlie what you did.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell him what I did, because there are several ways in iPhones that you can change settings.
Right.
There's not just one, and there's many different ways that you can press settings that will change how the phone will perform.
Right.
So you got to look at a lot of stuff.
Okay. Then you can do that for me.
Yeah, because I looked at actually, Charlie, when you were talking about it, I looked at the video link you sent me and all of that, and I had already done all that stuff,
Oh,
and
okay.
it didn't make a difference. So I'm going to look at some other stuff in Chill's phone maybe tonight and see whether I can get hers to work. But it only does it in Fireside, right?
Yes, just Fireside.
Just Fireside. So if you're shooting video, just video on your phone, it doesn't do that?
Nope. I mean, even the podcast I just had an hour ago,
Okay.
my video stayed on. I
Okay.
have my volume lower, but I just want to see the picture from another screen other than my laptop. So,
Right.
and it didn't shut off, it didn't turn off or anything like that.
Okay. All right,
So,
Jill, did you say Stacy had a comment?
Yes. Stacy says this summer I will be searching for what I may want to do as a new job. I'm leaving my
Yay.
bus driver job on May 25th when the current school year and all wraps up.
Oh, cool. Now, do you want to keep it a secret for the new job, or
Or do you want us
do
to
you?
or do you want us to do what we've been talking about and like offer suggestions of what you may want to do next?
But I always and thanks a lot, Charlie, for all of that.
Yep.
We just want to get to Stacy. We haven't talked to her in a while.
And she says she wants suggestions.
Oh, suggestions. Oh. She's not gonna like this suggestion.
What suggestion do you have? Please don't say a truck.
No,
Okay.
she needs to be a substitute teacher.
Oh, well, Charlie could talk to her about the pros and cons of that.
Yeah, just so Charlie has made that trend. He's gone from a police officer, and he's probably had some other jobs in there too after he retired. But police officer, then what was the job after that? I forget, Charlie. But now he's a substitute teacher.
Yeah, so Charlie, you should are you still on the stage? Feel free to say the pros and cons of that. And Stacy, I would like to know, like I know that you're with a bus driver, you're with kids. But and this may seem like an odd question, do you enjoy being around kids or do or do you want to try
She
something
got a thumbs up.
different?
Yeah, she gave us a thumbs up, I think. She
Okay.
enjoys being around kids.
And Charlie's on the stage, so you can. Oh, she says she's been a substitute teacher prior to being a bus driver.
oh, she's all set.
Yeah, she's all set then.
Yeah.
Well, they just did a story here locally about, and it may not have been locally, but the guy was a janitor for the school for like 40 years.
Oh,
And he
became
retired
and became a teacher. I saw that.
teacher, and he loves it. Go ahead, Charlie.
I just was offered another job in the school district, so I will be a family engagement specialist.
Oh
Family
wow!
engagement
Congratulations. Well,
specialist.
before I say congratulations, are you accepting it? Are you
Oh,
accepting the
yeah,
offer?
what up? Yes, it's more fitting for myself. The classroom wasn't for me. It's just my age and how I came up in school was done a certain way, and the way they do it now, it's just it really is mind boggling. With discipline, handwriting is something that's overlooked, but they offer kids, or they require kids to do writing assignments. So I'm like, why are you doing this? You're not teaching them how to write, so they're writing poorly, and then you're grading them on assignment, and I just don't get that. Why eliminate handwriting? Because you're requiring them to handwrite. They have a laptop, they have a computer, and that's where a lot of their assignments are being done.
Hmm.
However, I just, so the handwriting is a little thing with me being a writer. I like to write instead of type, and so that's one thing. Discipline is entirely non-existing. So at that point, I said, let me go do something with some resources, where I could provide some help for families, similar to what I did in police work.
Hmm.
You need help with heating assistance. You need something, as far as clothing. If you're a victim of, losing a house due to a fire, I can help out with that. So all those different things, even tutoring and all that. So that's what the family engagement specialist does, is just provide resources for families in the district. So,
That's
and it's,
excellent. That's perfect for you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Congratulations. And
Yeah.
thank you.
Stacy, I don't know if something like that sounds appealing to you, but that's an idea. And then because I work with librarians every day, I have learned about programs around the country uh, that would speak to your background of, like tutoring or the type
Mhm.
of engagement where if you work at the library as a specialist for families or children, and helping them with whatever their needs are when they come to the library. That might be an option too, if you're like me and like to teach, but you don't like to grade. So therefore, you're still helping. You're helping people. You don't have to set foot in a classroom, um, but there's certain programs and roles that are not librarian roles, but are at the library. So that might
That might be
be
cool
something.
too. And it just made me think of another one. My oldest brother, which is uh, 11 years older than me, um, when we both were in trucking business, and he had a pretty large size trucking company. But when he finally got away from that, he went to work for the Boys and Girls Club of
Yes,
Dallas,
yes.
Metro Dallas area, and
And
he
he
loves
loves
it.
it. Like he
Oh
lives
yeah.
It's
and
his
breathes it.
life.
He loves it. He loves those kids.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
call him Grandpa.
Yeah.
That's
Because
nice.
and they call him Grandpa because a lot of them don't have any grandparents.
Hmm.
So they really look up to him, and he'll do anything for those kids. Um, I mean, seriously, anything. And they have these after school programs. So when school ends, they go pick up the kids from school and bring them to their facility. And because the parents either can't afford, after school care, or you don't want them to be, uh, what were you, Jill? Turnkey kid,
Yes.
Latchkey.
latchkey kid.
Latchkey. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was.
So they don't have to be a latchkey. And a lot of the children, because of the Boys and Girls Clubs, they end up going to college and graduating and coming back with degrees and working for the Girls Club and doing great
Stacy is
things.
wondering how to get involved in Boys and Girls Club. She says sounds interesting. Any ideas of did
You
I don't
could,
remember what he did, but
well,
I know
actually,
here.
check this out. I'm glad you asked that question because I just remembered how he got into the Boys and Girls Club. So it was shortly after he closed his business, and he had a friend that was pretty high up within that organization. And he said, "Well, if you don't mind it, you can drive one of the school buses." Now, I know that's what you were just doing, but it's different than driving a
To and
public
from school,
school
yeah.
bus. So he would go pick up the kids and from their school, and they would drive them to, like, I don't know. He said my brother told me the kids are on the bus for like 5 minutes. That's it. That's the length of the time they're on the
And
bus,
they're all going to the same
and they
place.
go to the same place. But him doing that job got him where he's next to the top
Yeah,
person
he's like
in the
VP something,
organization.
something,
Yeah,
something.
and of regional, just not
Yeah,
that location,
yeah.
but regional. So there's room for growth.
I would say
If you get
everywhere
there.
because I don't, I'm sure if you just contacted the Boys and Girls Club and asked what you could do, they'd probably
Hmm.
find a role for you.
Yeah,
And not
probably.
just, and I'm
Yeah,
not even talking volunteer. They'd probably find a role for you, you know?
yeah, probably. Maybe. I don't know. I
Or
don't know
maybe, or
that for
maybe you'd
sure.
like to volunteer first just to check them out, and see if you like it there. But any organization that, like if you like kids, if you like, whatever your interests are, I'm sure there's an organization or association that does that,
Hmm.
or that handles that type of audience, and then you could just look into, what does. And Charlie says the bus drivers usually have two assignments at the Boys and Girls Club.
Ah, see, he knows even more than I do about it. But there was something else. Oh, here's the difference between having the kids on the Girls Club as opposed to the public school system. Those kids respect the Boys and Girls Club.
They actually want to be
They
there.
want to be there, so they're not acting the fool. You know what I mean. They're not acting all crazy and everything. And I'm not supposed to say crazy anymore, according to Jill. But anyway, but they're not. They're relatively well behaved. And if you tell them, hey, you need to straighten up, they will. Because they don't want to be home. They don't want to be alone. Um, and you kind of have a little more time on your hands because the routes aren't long. You can come back. You can help tutor the kids if they need help with their homework and all of that, and it's more rewarding. Um, According to my brother, he's never said that no that he said everyone looked at it as a rewarding job.
Mhm.
Rewarding
Absolutely.
job.
And
So
I've heard the same thing with, if we're talking about driving roles, with Meals on Wheels, how rewarding it could be to,
it
deliver meals to
most of
people who can't.
but most of those are volunteer.
Are they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them. Yeah.
I know some paid people.
Well, find them. Find them. But I think most of them are volunteer because I
I don't think
remember
the drivers are though.
when I was looking for some volunteer work, and that's all they had was volunteer for
Oh, maybe it
meals,
is that way now.
but yeah, they just had volunteer work for that. And if you don't need any money, volunteering is good. But if you need a
But
paycheck
yeah,
still,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not gonna work. So, but yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I would look into organizations that, um, you know, cater to the same audience that you would like to be around the most. And I'm sure with your background, you would be an easy hire, um, for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. Really. Now I don't know because I think Stacy doesn't Stacy live in Massachusetts also. I don't remember.
I
Thought she
think
did.
so.
Yeah.
Charlie says in New Bedford it's paid full Meals on Wheels. It's paid.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And Stacy says thanks. She will look into that.
Cool.
And
Cool.
she's in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Okay.
But I'm
I
sure
was way
that
off.
yeah, we both were. But I'm sure there are opportunities like that there. I'm sure there
Yeah,
are.
yeah, you can just Google it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you'll get plenty of information on that. So that'd be cool. I hope you find
I
something.
do. And
Uh,
so if you do, tell us what you end up doing.
Yeah, I have another friend, and his father was with the Boys and Girls Club of Atlanta, and I think he told me his father started there when he was maybe 50 years old, and stayed until he passed away. He was like 82.
Wow. Well,
He never
Ronaldo,
left.
your brother started later than that, didn't he? Like in his 60s?
Yeah, yeah, he was proud. My brother started when he was like 60 something, and
Yeah.
he's
He's still there,
70 something
and still
there now,
going, still going strong.
loves it.
He
I
really
mean, it's
does.
really it's turned into such a big part of. It's not just a job.
Right.
It's
Right.
such a big part of his
He really
life.
does see them as his kids.
Yeah, yeah, because and he recently told me that there was a shooting like around the corner from the Boys and Girls Club. Now, it didn't come into the location, and the building wasn't hit or anything else. But the first thing my brother did was strap his gun around his waist, went out to the front gate, and stood watch. So nobody came that way. And my brother hitting the mic. My brother was in Vietnam, like really in Vietnam. So he doesn't play. So
Stacy also says maybe even the Ys, YMCA or YWCA, even worth a try on all these suggestions.
yeah,
Excellent idea. When I was pre-COVID, when I was a member of our local or one of our local Ys, I would often talk to the people who worked there, and most of them had started in the summer and ended up liking it so much they stayed because they got the benefits of the Y themselves, but they
Mhm.
liked being around families and just even if it was just checking them in,
Mhm.
like checking to make sure that you are a member and things like that. They really enjoyed it and had stayed years and years and years. So and
Yeah.
plus I don't know how active your Ys are, but at least that one had a lot of programs besides the gym,
Mhm.
to go with it. So many people enjoyed doing that, and again, it was all paid.
Yeah, yeah,
Not volunteer positions at all. So that's an excellent idea.
sure is. Charlie, really, Charlie and Stacy have done jobs, the school bus driver job, that have been suggested to me. They told me you need to drive a school bus, and the pay is good right now. School bus driver pay is really good.
Yeah, well, there's a shortage
Um,
here anyway.
yeah, so the pay is really, really good right now. But look, there's no reason for me to try that. I probably wouldn't last a week. I'm used to driving all over the country
By yourself.
by myself without a bunch of screaming kids behind
Without
me.
talking to anybody.
So that would just drive me nuts. I wouldn't last. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to last. No way. No way.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited for you, Stacy. I think
Yeah.
you have a lot of options out there. And again, I think with your background, um, you know,
Mhm.
be
Yeah.
an easy hire.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. They would hire her quick, quick. Oh, that's cool. I hope that helps some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
So
would be cool.
definitely report back when I bet you end up with options. Just
Right?
yeah. Like,
She'll
well, now which one
fill
should I do?
fill out 3 applications and get 3 jobs.
Yeah. Which one should I
Yeah, that
do?
would be cool. That would be real
Or
cool.
maybe you'll end up with like Charlie and they just come to you with an offer of a position you hadn't even
Uh,
thought about.
or you could do like me, just quit and don't work at all.
Charlie says she could drive an ice cream truck instead.
Good humor truck. I don't even. Do they still have those good humor trucks? I don't know.
Not in our neighborhood, clearly.
I've never seen an ice cream truck in this neighborhood ever. I've been here for 20
Not
years
in our
or
neighborhood.
so.
Oh,
No ice
no.
cream trucks. Yeah, so
You have to go to them.
that's right. No ice cream trucks here. That's a trip. There used to be ice cream trucks in the neighborhood I lived in on the south side.
Okay.
And you know what they have in the South that they didn't have where I grew up north in New York? The Candy Lady. Has anybody heard of the Candy Lady?
Besides the one at church?
She's like the one at church. No, that's different. That's the lady that always has candy in her purse.
Has the peppermints in her purse. Yep.
Yeah. But the Candy Lady, see, here in the South, there's not a lot of little small corner stores that are in walking distance. So like where I grew up, you could walk down the street and there's the little store. You can go in, buy candy, all kinds of little things, right? But in the South, the way the neighborhoods is set up, there's no candy store. So there's always like one woman in the neighborhood that starts selling candy.
What
So
southern neighborhood are you talking about? I've never seen this
you
ever
know
in
you
my
have
whole
to
life.
you have to go to the South Side.
Of Georgia?
No, of Atlanta, like in College Park. College Park neighborhoods have the Candy Lady.
Really?
East Point, there's a
I've
Candy
never
Lady.
lived. I guess I've never lived where there's a candy lady.
Yeah, no, but there's
Other
like I
than
said, I
church.
didn't know that until I moved into this neighborhood in College
And
Park.
what kind of candy do they sell?
Every kind of candy. So they'll go and buy cases of candy, and kids know you go to her store, you go to her house, and she has it all set up like a store, and you buy candy from her.
Oh, okay. Well, Stacy says this has helped her immensely, and she will definitely keep us updated.
Cool.
And she says we have had ice cream trucks here as recent as last year. Wow.
Cool.
And then Charlie says, Candy Lady, I dated a girl named Candy. She was sweet.
She was. I bet she was. How do you know? Did you take a bite out
Oh,
of her?
Tony, that is not this kind of show. This is a family show.
Oh boy. You see interaction with each other
That's
just
right.
makes me happy.
It makes me happy too.
Yeah, gives it's good energy. I love it. I really do.
I do too.
Well, Jill, we're just about at an hour.
We
so
are. So I'm happy that you told us what that you allowed us to offer you suggestions, Stacy. And I look forward to hearing your updates. Charlie, you're always great at giving us with your statements and your questions and your observations. So I always
Well,
love that.
and Charlie knows some of everybody. He knows
We love you
everybody.
too. He says he loves us
Yeah,
both.
we love you too, Charlie.
Yep, he
and
does.
Stacy.
Yep.
We
We do.
even love WaitBot.
Oh,
You
speak for
don't love-
yourself.
you don't
I
love
don't
WaitBot.
have love for WaitBot. But I do like that Stefan calls it Waitbox.
WaitBox, yes.
I like that he says that. All right, it's time to
We're
go.
saying all right like we're twins.
Aren't we?
No. Although our birthdays are 7 days apart, for those of you that didn't know.
And you're 8 years older.
We're the same age. We're
Yeah.
born the same year, 1966. You see how I remember that so
yeah,
easily?
okay.
Yeah, 1966. That's when I was born.
Okay. All right.
I wish I can remember, like, vividly going with my father to buy a car, a brand new car in 1966. I remember being at the dealer
In 1966.
at 1966,
Well, unless it
and I
was-
knew what was going
Unless
on.
it was
wasn't
December,
like
I
I
wasn't even born yet.
like I was a toddler. I was like, Daddy, get this one. Daddy, why are you getting that one? Daddy, get this one.
Anyway,
That's right. Anyway.
we
So
love you all.
we do love you all, but we're gonna get out of this show.
Yep.
And I'm gonna turn off video, but
See
I'm
you all
still
next
gonna be
week.
here. And then I'm gonna try to leave the show. This is where the problem comes in.
Well, you need to end the show
I
before
need
you
to
leave it.
end the show.
There you go.
Is it going to work?